So did you guys see the Chaka Khan Stephanie Mills verses that came on the other night? Stephanie Mills, she performed very beautifully and very regally. However, Chaka Khan, she seemed to be struggling a little bit. I was on Twitter and then I saw people saying, "Oh, like I'm sorry, like to watch this. This is sad to watch." Chaka Khan and Stephanie Mills is she's such a professional, and I'm like, what's going on with Chaka Khan? Because I didn't know that there was the verses that night. So I asked one of my Twitter buddies, shout out to Joe Seneca. I asked him, I was like, yo, what's going on? What's everybody talking about? And he was like, oh, well, yeah, Chaka Khan seems to be struggling a little bit. And, Stephanie Mills is being very professional, kind of like, trying to boost her up basically. And I said, let me check this out. And as soon as I looked at it, I was like, she is struggling. I was like, this doesn't look like, to me, alcohol or drugs. I was like, this looks more neurological. She did have history of drug abuse. It ended in 1990. And then she also had on and off situations with alcoholism. But by 2005, she's declared herself sober. This lady is a vegan and she's, combating her high blood pressure and type 2 diabetes. Meanwhile, she has lost a significant amount of weight. You can tell, and she looks really good for her age. She looks really good. Not even for her age. She just looks really good. However, last night she didn't look really good. Like she looked pretty on stage, but she was stumbling and she was kind of like slurring her words. Just to talk about myself and my kind of thinking, I'm like, not to be like, I'm trained to think this way, but I kind of feel like I am. I am. In a year where we're dealing with a jab that was given out to everybody in every kind of way. All right. And so there are different things that are popping up in the headlines, like things like sudden death, things like it's normal for kids to have heart attacks. Like everything is being normalized to us, but none of this stuff is normal. All right. So when I see certain things happen, I don't go with the obvious anymore. Not saying that I just jump to the jab necessarily. Like, let me put it this way. If it was that Shaka Khan had just gotten sober last year, 2 years, 5 years ago, I would probably say, like, well, maybe she just went back to the bottle or something last night. Though I would still question myself because of her movements. But I would be more inclined to think that was true. But the fact that she declared herself sober in 2005, and now I see this over like, how many years is that? Like, over 15 years later, it doesn't strike me as, oh, she just got drunk again. Like, oh my gosh, she's doing this stuff again. So first, let me talk about the physicals. Okay. So what I did is like I made a clip. You'll see in the clip, like I'm gonna add this clip in. You'll see in the clip where I'm using the mouse to like show you like her leg and everything, and I'm just kind of pointing out a few things. This is the first time I did like a share screen, so it doesn't. The audio was a little bit off, so you don't hear her. But we'll talk about it all when we're done watching. Okay. This time I'm not letting the audio play because it just. But we see she got the flats on, and she's still struggling, even with the mic in her hand. Just the gait is not steady. You could almost feel like she's trying to catch herself. It's a shame. She's really trying to keep it up too. It's a little better with the flats, but just that one leg, man. I feel like she's dragging his little leg right here a little bit. That would be the left leg. All right. So anyway, so I'm gonna wrap up. All right. Okay. So now you guys just watch that, right? So yeah, somebody would be like, well, maybe she was just drunk and she was drinking and she had her heels on and everything. So that's why she looks like that. It, to me, is a look of a person who's trying to keep up. Not only that, that left leg, to me, I feel like it is giving her an issue. Like it's like she's trying to keep up with it. It's not moving as voluntary as the right leg. Okay. And her voice, she was slurring words. You can't hear it in my audio because this is the first time I did this, and I'll be better the next time. She was slurring her words. Plus, her left hand even gives me a feeling of like almost flaccid, slightly. It's everything is ever so slightly, where to me it would appear. Yes, if I didn't think like this, like assessing people, I would just say the person was drunk. But it's not even a stumbling movement that she's doing. It's not like she's like stumbling across the stage. She's really trying to keep up because to me, watching her, I feel like she's thinking like, why can't I keep up with this? Like, how come I can't do this right now? She's trying to get out that because straight up, if you know you had a bunch to drink, if you knew you had a lot to drink, and then you're going to go on stage, 9 times out of 10, you're just going to stay, I would think, would just sit on the couch, right? But I feel like is like, why can't I get through this movement? Like, come on, you got this. Like you can even see sometimes in her face where she's like, not to say like worried, but she's just like keeping up. But she feels as though it should not be this hard to keep up. Now she's not, I don't think that she necessarily forgot her words in the songs, but she was slow to sing them. It's just not, it's not drunken behavior to me. Plus, like I said, the way she moves is more of a jerky movement. And even when she took the heels off, I will say it made it a little better, of course, because her gait is not steady, but she still was struggling with her own body. And I don't want to say that that's just alcoholism, like, or drugs or whatever. I think we really need to be looking at, like, is she okay? Now, obviously, I don't work for Chaka Khan, but the people around her should really be figuring out, like, what's going on. In my last videos, we've talked about palsies and nerve damage and everything. I've talked about how clots can get stuck anywhere and cause issues. I've talked about that this jab can give you clots. And I've talked about many ways that can happen. I've talked about many ways you can get nerve damage from this jab and how we've given it to so many people who shouldn't have had it before. Do I have a firm confirmation that Chaka Khan took the jab? No, I don't have a firm confirmation, but I'm pretty sure she did because mostly everybody who's like performing and stuff, like a lot of them, they're taking it so they can perform. A lot of people have their reasons for taking this thing. And I know that the majority of people have, or when somebody presents with something that's outside of the norm of what they've been looking like, to me, that is where I do go there because I'm like, what could be the thing different that they did that is causing them to look like this? Maybe she really was just drunk. I just don't want to give her that. Plus, I don't think that's fair. My other issue with that is like, all right, look at DMX, right? When DMX passed away, everybody said, oh, overdose. But we never saw it officially reported anywhere that he had an overdose. Not officially. And I, of course, was like, I don't think he had an overdose. I don't think that somebody who's been a career drug addict, that's not all he was, but knows how to dose himself, all of a sudden had an overdose, and I was like, I just don't think that's what it is. So when I go to Chaka Khan, who, yes, she had problems with drugs. Yes, she had problems with alcohol years ago. 2005. She said she's been sober since then. So why now? Why is it that like we already go there? That I just don't believe that a vegan woman who's lost weight, who's been taking care of her body, where it almost looked like she reversed age for a second there, will be like, I'm just gonna just throw it all away for some alcohol. I don't feel like that. I feel like the way she was struggling, her jerky movements, it's totally giving me neurological condition or possible ischemia, some sort of thing like that. And that's not something that is foreign. Like that's not something that's like that doesn't happen. When I was looking online about can strokes look like being drunk, I mean, I know that they can, just so we're clear, but I just like to look online for things. A law firm that was advertising, talking about medical malpractices, and they have cases of people who were having strokes and the hospital sent them back home and told them, lay off the alcohol, like you're just drunk. Yeah, because maybe they didn't necessarily present with the full signs of a stroke, but you should always think outside the box when it comes to ruling stuff out. I also feel like if she was that drunk performing, like who let her out on the stage anyway? Like forget if she was drunk. Who let her out on stage? Like, I would look at somebody and be like, she doesn't look right. Like, never mind, let's just not do this today, but whatever. But she might have insisted that she could have did it. She might have insisted. But she's not presenting in an emergency room. So people on stage aren't going to think outside the box. But I'm looking at a lot of people like they're in an emergency room at this point. When it comes to this jab, like I said, we've given out a very irresponsible jab. So I know that a lot of people took it and want to make great examples and be role models, and a lot of celebrities probably did that. And so I just sit back and I'm like, I know I'm going to hear a lot of different events, different news about people getting hurt. And no matter what is true or what's not true, the one thing is I hope that this goes away. I hope she gets better. I hope that this is just a isolated incident and that she'll be fine. I don't pretend to say like I know everything going on and I know this and I know that. No, I don't pretend to be a know-it-all. I'm just going off my own assessment. But again, I want her to be okay. I'd rather be wrong. Hopefully this is an isolated incident. But you guys, thank you for watching this video. Thanks for coming by and listening to what I had to say about that versus, because I was very concerned when I watched it, and it is it is sad to watch. No matter what's going on, it is sad to watch. Okay, guys. So I'll see you at the next video. If you like this video, please don't forget to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe if you feel like I am worthy of that subscription. All right, you guys have a good night. Bye.